this age and times comes great ideas, sweet memories,
new techniques,
untold stories about Africa and the world at large. Guess what? The new age brings on board a brand name in broadcasting technology.
Introducing Age Television. At Age Television, we serve you with professionalism
in news and event coverage,
live streaming, documentaries,
artist management,
video and photography,
social media management, and lots more.
For inquiries, call us on +27 061 773 9628
or 027 064 543 0136.
You can also send us WhatsApp messages on 078 229 4593.
YouTube HTV/Durban. Tweet us at HTV Durban.
Facebook at HTV Durban.
Instagram at HTV.Durban.
Email us at htvdurban@gmail.com.
Visit our website on www.htv.co.za. Age Television, celebrating the uncelebrated.
Good afternoon, viewers. Welcome to another edition of Akpan's Diary on Age TV. My name is James Akpan, and today we have an important personality, Prince Benjamin Okoli, who is the president of Nigerian Citizens Association in South Africa. Prince Okoli, welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Akpan. Nice to have me on your show.
And also great to have you in Durban.
Thank you.
Well, so far I hope you're enjoying your stay in Durban.
Well, I'm trying my best to enjoy the fun of the city and what it has to offer me.
It's a beautiful city, actually the best in South Africa.
Thank you.
Okay, so you are, let's meet you. Who is Prince Benjamin Okoli?
Wow. Benjamin Okoli is just Benjamin Okoli. My name, like you have rightly captured, it is Benjamin Okoli. The prince you see in front of my name is by heritage.
So you are from a royal family?
That's it.
In line to become a king?
Well, I'm not looking at that lineage of becoming a king. But coincidentally, that's where my bet had placed me. And I'm Benjamin Okoli from Anambra State.
Okay, so what part of Nigeria is Anambra State?
Anambra State is from the southeastern part of Nigeria.
Okay.
And precisely with the capital in Oka. And I'm from the local government known as Orumba North Local Government of the state.
Okay.
And my community is Ndiokolo town in Orumba North.
Okay, that's great.
Yes.
We'll get down to discussing other issues as it relates to Nigeria. But first, let us get into your office as the president of NICASA, which is the Nigerian Citizens in South Africa. Okay, so what exactly is NICASA about?
NICASA is an organization that is founded on the principle of management and promotion of the welfare of the Nigerian citizens in the country, in the Republic of South Africa. And part of what we do is actually what had brought me to Durban today, in seeking to find a solution to the problems that had bedeviled the Nigerian communities in the Republic, and Durban is also part of the Republic of South Africa.
So essentially it's to look at the welfare
of Nigerians wherever they are domiciled, whether they are in Transkei, whether they are in KwaZulu-Natal, whether they are in Gauteng.
Okay, so what exactly is the structure of, South Africa has 9 provinces.
Yes.
How is it structured? How is NICASA structured?
NICASA essentially is structured along the political structures which is obtainable within the South African government.
If the national office is in Johannesburg, that means there is also an office that takes care of Gauteng, or do you double as the national president and also the president of Gauteng province?
No, we have structures, and like I mentioned to you earlier on, before the technical hitch, in all the provinces we have leadership. and the leadership are the chairman of the provinces, including the Gauteng province.
Okay, so there is a different leadership at
Structure.
the Gauteng province and all that.
At Gauteng level,
okay,
like
so,
in other provinces.
Okay, so I wanted to also find out, like I said, that we are in KwaZulu-Natal now, and then but we are having this interview from Durban, eThekwini. So do you have, what kind of structure do you have? Does it cascade down to the grassroots level? Do you have leadership at KZN and also leadership at eThekwini, or the province takes care of all the municipalities, the grassroots level?
Thank you for the question, because that question is very important that we address it. NICASA leadership at the provincial level spirals down to the grassroots, which is at the branch level. So we have leadership at the branch level from the premier, which is the chairperson
of the province.
Of the province.
Okay.
Then we go down to the branch, which is in the municipals, because in eThekwini municipality, I mean in KZN as a province, you have many province. I mean
exactly.
Municipalities.
Yeah.
So eThekwini is one of those that you have cited.
Okay.
So we have a lot of so many other branches.
Okay.
In the province.
Okay.
So and the same thing is applicable to all other provinces.
Okay.
Provinces.
So at the grassroots level, there's a broad base of structures at every
cascaded down
at every community level. And then the community liaise with the province, and then the province liaise with the national also. Okay, that's great. Now, so what exactly are the activities of NICASA? How do you drive these activities? Is it a bottom-top or top-bottom approach?
No, it's a top-to-bottom approach. It is not an approach from, a one-sided approach. So we we apply a holistic approach to all matters and issues that concerns the Nigerian welfare.
Okay, let me rephrase my question this way. At the national, do you set the agenda for the provinces and the branches meaning municipalities? Okay. Do you set the agenda at the national level, or is there some level of autonomy at the province and also at the branch level, so that they can determine the agenda that is natural to them, the activities, the issues that are natural to them, and then respond to those issues and only report it to the top?
Yeah, thank you. The NICASA leadership works in synergy. It means that we work in total collaboration with all structures of our leadership. But the national does produce a program which is going to be very good for the entire provinces. So what we do is that So what happens is that the national at that level comes up with a program. That program is a policy, a policy that we drive, which is a national policy.
Okay.
And at that national policy, we take it down to the grassroots.
Okay.
So that project will be executed. For instance, if we are doing, let me say, membership drive, we will ensure, because we at the national, we will not pursue that policy on our own. So we have to do it in collaboration with the provinces that will take it down to the grassroots and ensure that people are registered.
Okay.
So
let us leave membership drive because obviously
I cited that as an example, as one of those things that NICASA and the national could do, which will spiral down to the local, which is to the grassroots level.
Okay. I want to also look at specifically as if a policy is, I'm trying to look at how you generate information to be able to articulate a policy, as it were. What I meant by bottom top is that, do you wait for the branches to look at the issues that are affecting them, pass it on to the province, and then the province will now send it to the national, so that at the level of putting together a national policy, you are mindful of the fact that some of the issues may not be general, may not be generic, in the sense that what affects Limpopo may not affect Eastern Cape, and what affects Northern Cape may not affect KZN. How do you articulate, how do you sensitize this information from the bottom to be able to put a national spread policy?
Okay, the chairpersons of the chairman of the provinces have the responsibility to articulate and collect informations from their various provinces. So those information that they collect and produce is what forms part of our national policy.
Okay.
So, and when we do that, we do it in collaboration with their leadership to ensure that what we produce as a policy is not strange. It's not a strange thing.
Yeah.
It is something that they are already, aware of. Something that already affects them.
Their aspirations.
Because various provinces have peculiar problems that are different from one another.
Sure, definitely.
So what they do is that they do it according to what is obtainable within their own province.
Okay, so the communication is basically bottom top.
Bottom top, yes.
And then in terms of implementation, there is a conference approach where you all work in concert, and in conjunction, in concert with others to be able to drive the implementation. So, okay, so what kind of relationship exists? First and foremost, I probably should ask, how old is Nikasa?
Well, Nikasa...
What was the history behind Nikasa?
Yeah, that's a very good one. Nikasa came on board a couple of years back when there seemed to be some kind of lull, a kind of vacuum in leadership of the Nigerian community. And that was what necessitated the birth of Nikasa. And I don't like to use the word a child of necessity, because people always talk about it and say that Nikasa is a child of necessity. Yes, but then it came about because there was this vacuum created. And the stakeholders came together to decide that we...
What when you say vacuum, what exactly is
vacuum in the leadership of the Nigerian community?
Was there a structure before Nikasa?
There was a structure, but the structure couldn't stand the test of time. It fizzled out. It actually became non-existent.
Why is that? What was the problem?
I wouldn't go into the peculiarities of that problem or whatever that has happened, but the fact remains that Nikasa came on board to fill in that great gap.
Okay.
Because there was a great need, and the gap was there. And like minds, stakeholders came together to say we will not allow the Nigerian community to be rudderless. We will rather provide a platform which is going to be all-encompassing.
So would you say the challenge that the previous body had, would you say was it a people problem or was it a structural problem?
It was both of a kind. Both people problem and a structural problem. And those are the things that Nikasa, when they came, we had looked into those anomalies and things that had caused the demise of the previous structure, and we built on it. Okay, we developed it further to make it more people-oriented and people-friendly.
And more accommodating.
So today, I'm very happy that Nigerians are better for it. They are actually singing the praises of Nikasa, not any individual per se, because it is a collective effort of the people that produce.
So the sense I'm getting from that comment is that the previous organization was actually driven by personalities and not necessarily a collective approach to these issues. So
yeah, you might interpret it like that.
Okay, so these personalities that were existent and drove that activity, are they still available? Are they part of Nikasa, or they've been excluded, or they are still involved?
Nikasa is all-inclusive, but what we do is that we look at antecedents, we look at character. We look at,
when you say character, that means what did you do when we were together before, your activities that probably led to the challenges of
when I say character, body. We look at personality traits. Personality traits, because remember, associations are driven by humans.
Definitely.
So, and humans have character. You know, so when you want to get it right, you have to get the characters that are in the association right.
It'd be interesting it'd be interesting to also know the kind of strategy, because it's becoming a lot more psychological for you to look at, do an analysis of character, personality traits to be able to know. So in that line, what personality traits are you looking for?
Yes, it is there. It is enunciated in our workbook, which is our constitution. There are certain criteria that are captured in it that if you do not possess or have these qualities or have not had this connection, you are not eligible to become an executive of the leadership of NICASA.
But you can be a member.
Every Nigerian by default is a member of NICASA.
Now, when you say every Nigerian by default, does that also mean that what is the procedure for membership? Is it that every Nigerian must formally register, or the fact that you are a Nigerian and you are in South Africa, you just become a member?
The modus of registration is that you have to identify yourself. You have to be counted. You have to put yourself forward to be counted, to be noted as a Nigerian. But beside that, so long as you are a card or a passport carrying Nigerian, a Nigerian that carries her passport, you are by default a NICASA, a member of NICASA. But having said that, we request that people should make themselves available, make themselves known, not only when there are crises, and we begin to hear that Mr. A and B is a Nigerian. He needs assistance of NICASA.
Okay, so President,
Yes.
Are you saying that there is a register?
There is a register of...
And the register is at looking at the structure
from the
discussed from the
level,
grassroots.
from the grassroots.
So if I walk to, say, Ilanda, for instance, there is a register of Nigerians.
There is a register of Nigerians in various branches, and it is the sole responsibility of the chairpersons of all those provinces to ensure that they are well informed of what is going on in their branches and what they have as membership in their structure.
Are there Nigerians that are not aware of NICASA, or that they have to be registered formally to become recognized, registered in the register to become recognized as Nigerians who are domiciled in South Africa?
Yeah, I don't think Nigerians don't know about NICASA. NICASA have become a household name because of the activities that we had embarked upon in the past. We had carried out during the past, the last xenophobia, even before then, we had actually impacted on the lives of Nigerians. So we became a household name through our activities, positive activities, things that we have done that had given Nigerians hope that this is the association to look up to. So the citizens, my citizens, Nigerians, sometimes are, very reluctant. Sometimes people need compelling. You need to speak to people.
Why are they reluctant?
They are reluctant, possibly because they don't want on their own to register, belonging to various organizations.
But do you find that, are you curious, do you find that strange that you travel to a foreign country, you immigrate to a country, and there are also Nigerians that are in that country with an association, and then you are reluctant to identify yourself with those the Nigerian community in that country? Or why do you think they would be reluctant to formally become members of any
association?
Does that bother you?
Well, it doesn't bother me a bit, because before I became the president of
But they are
NICASA,
Nigerians.
I want to answer that question. Before I became, I came up the leadership of NICASA, I had at various times served at, various structures of our local communities. I will take, for example, my immediate constituency, which is the Orumba local meeting. We have a great number of Orumbas in this republic, but in our register, we have less than 150 people. But we have up to 400 people who are from my local government.
Estimated.
Estimated. That is a rough estimate, So, and we know. So we keep asking people to come and join, but they are reluctant. And why are they reluctant? We don't know.
Well, I guess that means the job of Nikasa is cut out for them, because they are Nigerians.
Yes.
And like you said, if there are issues, they will need to fraternize, look for the Nigerians.
They have
So
to.
it becomes a responsibility of Nikasa to in their membership drive to also explain to them the benefits. Perhaps they did not know, but
that is why. Can I build on that? That is why we developed a registration system that is not only compelling for you to become a member, but that is very beneficial to you as a Nigerian.
When you say compelling, some people really do not want, oh, are you compelling me to do
compelling something? Because of what you are going to derive when you become a member.
The benefits.
The benefits. For instance, if you become a member of Nikasa, you are entitled to representation in the court if you have any problems.
How do I identify myself as a member of Nikasa?
By registering.
Okay, is there a badge? Is there an ID card? Is there something that will show that on the street I am a member? That's one. Then two, imagine that, okay, you run into a situation, you just talked about representation in the court, for instance, and then you have a call from somebody. Is there a database where you can go to confirm that this person that called you is actually a bona fide member of Nikasa? Or is there some kind of an ID card or something to show?
Yes, there is an identification card that we give to members which carries a unique number.
Okay. And
when you become a member of Nikasa, you are presented, with this identification. And of course, you become a member by registering through your local branch, building up. So, and of course, if you make a call to, identify yourself and explain your situation, and we will simply ask for your identification, from which area of the Republic you are, located, and then we'll send it straight to the representative in that place to check out.
That's the chairman.
Yes, to check out. The chairman, if you are not from his ward where he can easily identify you, he will pass the information down to the next structure, which is probably the branch. So they will look at it and consider you a bona fide member, and then you are eligible to, benefiting from.
Okay. So does the National Secretariat, do they have this database?
Yes, we do have a database, and it's a continuous process. We continue to update our data.
Okay.
Yes, we do have a data.
Okay, so you talked about you served at the other levels before you came up to become the president.
Yes.
So that suggests to me that Nikasa is how old?
Nikasa is precisely plus minus between 4 and 5 years. Not up to 5 years. We get into 5 years.
So you are just knocking on being age 5
years, yes.
and all that. And are you recognized by the Nigerian government?
Of course, that is what gives Nikasa its legitimacy.
The previous body that you said went into extinction, were they also recognized?
Of course, if you are to work with the Nigerian community and endorsed by the Nigerian people of South Africa, you have to be endorsed by your government as well.
So the previous
one enjoyed that status, the status that we are enjoying today. They did enjoy it, but like I said, for reasons of personal interest and character deficiency, association could collapse.
So the Nigerian government, represented by the Nigerian High Commission,
yes,
actually agreed and understood and appreciated the demise of the previous body. So
well,
did they play any role?
The word appreciate their demise is like it's a word that I wouldn't like to use.
Okay, so let's use your word.
Yeah, but then I think the government and its representative are not in the business of setting up organizations. So what they do is
they can recognize.
What they do is, if the community organize themselves responsibly, present themselves responsibly, and behave well, the government, of course, will recognize a legitimate organization.
Well,
and they have given such legitimacy, such recognition of legitimacy to Nikasa.
Well, one of the functions of every embassy and high commission is to set up a community relation and cultural relation department, because they are in every country to represent the Nigerians. that are living in that country, while they also deal with diplomatic, bilateral relations at the diplomatic level. But they also have a responsibility towards the citizens of that country. So every Nigerian should matter to the Nigerian High Commission, as it were, in South Africa. Therefore, is there any kind of support that you are getting from the Nigerian High Commission in terms of membership drive, in terms of logistics, in terms of financing, in terms of support, in terms of activities and all that, in terms of the representation, the legal representation that you talked about the other time?
Organizational, the structures of organization, if properly, done, gives you the leverage to do things without encumbrances and without much friction. So the government, through their representation, which is the High Commission and the Consulate, because we have 2 missions here in Nigeria, Nigerian missions in South Africa.
Yeah.
They gave us that recognition, like I said earlier, arising from our antecedents. And we are independent. NICASA as an organization is totally independent. We do not accept inference from the consulate or from the High Commission. We are a receiver of donation from bodies and individuals that deemed it necessary to support the aspiration of NICASA and the welfare that we promised and that we had been given out to people. So yes, we are open to receiving any kind of assistance, support from government, from individuals. But we particularly do not go out looking for financial assistance from the Nigerian government or from her bodies, which is the Consulate and the High Commission.
Okay, so
yes.
if when you sort of like emphasize on the word independence, as it were,
yes,
does that also mean that there are some certain programs that you have that may not be in alignment with the High Commission and the Consular?
Of course, we are not their baby, but we could be their darling because of what we do. If we do things to promote Nigeria, if we do things to protect Nigeria, if we do things to engender peace within the community where we find ourselves, we will become their darling because we'll have done something that gladdens the heart of.
And if you do not, they disown you?
No, if we don't, they don't disown us because, like I said, that is where our independence comes. We are independent because we ensure that we do the right things. We ensure that we follow the right steps in doing the right things.
So you do not in any way submit or discuss your programs with them?
We do, for instance, if we have programs that will need their input. I will take you now into a program that we are planning for 2021.
Okay.
This program was actually designed for 2020, but COVID,
the lockdown,
the lockdown period, took away the shine from it, so we couldn't continue.
Okay.
So we pushed it further, and that program is a program of a cultural cohesion.
Okay.
And that program is also a program that is actually designed to promote the peace within the Nigerian and the South African community. So obviously, they have no option than to buy into this, such projects, because it is a project that promotes not just NICASA, not just anything but Nigeria.
And Nigeria's culture.
And Nigerian culture.
So you are obviously conversant with the Nigerian Diaspora Commission.
Yes, we also work alongside with the Nigerian Diaspora Commission, yes.
Okay, so the Nigerian Diaspora Commission, do they have an office, so to speak, in the High Commission? Help me deconstruct this relationship between the Nigerian High Commission, the consular. That can be easily explained because the consular actually is part of the High Commission.
Yeah.
But when you say the Diaspora Commission, for instance, what exactly is, one, the relationship between the Nigerian High Commission and the Diaspora Commission? Then two, how will NICASA now relate with the Nigerian High Commission and also with the Diaspora Commission? Is that cumbersome? What is the structure like?
The structure...
and do they have an office? Do they have a presence in South Africa? That's the Diaspora Commission.
The Nigerian Diaspora Commission actually uses people to people, to get across what they do. As you are a Nigerian, you are also part of the Nigerian because you are a diasporan. So it's an office of Nigerian diaspora. So the commission is just, the office that oversees the activities of Nigerians in diaspora. So remember that the consulate, manages the, providing consular services to Nigerians in the republic where they are found. The High Commission on their own part deals with the country-to-country relationship. So suffices to say that NICASA, being the umbrella organization representing Nigerians in South Africa, is the office representing NIDCOM, which is the Nigerian Diaspora Commission.
Okay,
so that is why we work hand in hand with the Nigerian Diaspora Commission in promoting Nigeria.
Okay, so NICASA is, quote and unquote, a body of the Nigerian, an affiliate of the Nigerian Diaspora Commission.
By extension, yes.
By extension.
By extension.
So what
by extension and virtue of her work.
Okay, so what kind of relationship do you now, you are not independent of them because you are independent of the High Commission. But we
are not independent of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
No, I'm talking of now of the Nigerian Diaspora Commission.
Of course, because they represent Nigeria. So we are not independent of Nigeria.
The High Commission also represents the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
That is because they have a clear-cut, agenda or a clear-cut definition of her duties. But remember, like I said, Nigerian Diaspora Commission is that commission that is set up to deal particularly with diasporans. So
okay, we'll leave it there. I think it's basically the Ministry of Foreign Affairs that can explain those relationships, because at times it becomes very confusing, and then you begin to wonder because an average Nigerian on the street of South Africa, for instance, sees NICASA, so to speak.
That is the face of Nigeria.
And then sees the High Commission, which is actually the former face of Nigeria.
Yes.
Okay, so at times, but anyway, like I said, we'll leave it there, and people from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs will clarify these structures and this working. So
please, there is no ambiguity in that. The Foreign Affairs, is there. The Diaspora Commission is there. I'm not holding forth for them, but I am speaking as the leader of the Nigerian citizens in South Africa.
Yeah, sure. I understand your position.
Yes.
I'm just trying to look at the structural situation also. So it's obviously not for you to address whatever structure that is being run. It's for the Minister of Foreign Affairs to clarify these things if they are under the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and all that. Okay. But however, you mentioned the other time that your immediate constituency is the Orumba and the whole of Orumba people. So which suggests to my mind that there are sub-organizations existing in South Africa.
Of course.
Now, if there are sub-organizations existing in South Africa, and of course, Nigeria being a country with over 250 ethnic nationalities, so to speak.
Yeah.
And so it probably would be safe to say that there may be up to 50 ethnic nationals of Nigerians living in South Africa across different ethnic groups. And they may also have these sub-organizations that also take care of their own ethnic affairs and all that. How does that diminish the role of NICASA, or does that encourage, does that reinforce the role of NICASA? And how do you relate with these ethnic nationalities that are basically that are Nigerians?
Yeah, very interesting question. Very, very interesting question, and it's simple. Like you rightly mentioned, that I was in the leadership of my constituency, which is the Orumba, and the Nigerians in South Africa cut across various tribes, and that is why in NICASA the leadership is also balanced. We have people from various culture and language.
Multi-ethnic.
So we encourage that and we promote that very well.
So you brought federal character.
Not really federal character, but to ensure that people are represented in the leadership. And why we actually chose that way is to ensure that we reach out to Nigerians, not reach out to Igbo or reach out to Hausa or reach out to Yoruba or Bini, but reaching out to Nigerians. Because we know that Nigerians, by nature, are people who, like their ethnic cleavages. So if you are able to capture, various ethnic groups in their meeting to understand the need to belong to associations, then the job is half done for Nikasa.
Okay. Now, Nikasa has a structure that cascades down to the municipalities, to the grassroots, so to speak. And then, like you said, that in terms of developing an agenda, the Nikasa bodies at the municipality, they gather, collate information that is natural to them and send it up. Now, what if you have an ethnic group, for instance, that is also gathering their own information, okay, in also those local, do they send it to Nikasa also, or they just pursue their own agenda as a people from one ethnic stock?
It is natural for people to promote themselves. So what is good in what every organization or ethnic group is doing is that they cannot be an island. They understand the need for a bigger structure.
So do you see a clash?
No, there is no clash, because we are interwoven. We work together.
Okay.
What affects them basically is what affects Nikasa.
Okay. If, for instance, I'm Fulani, for instance, and then there is a problem, there's a challenge that I'm facing, who do I run to first? Do I run to my Fulani association, or do I run to Nikasa at the branch level?
Well, if Fulani Association is one that is nearest to you, the one you feel most comfortable to deal with, get to them, and definitely such information will at the end come to Nikasa. Nikasa will get abreast of that information, and if it is something that needed to be treated with urgency, the leadership of the Fulani, like you mentioned, will bring it to the attention of the Nikasa leadership.
I'm asking this question because I'm also trying to reflect the political development in Nigeria, where in recent times we've heard ethnic nationalities championing various republics, and rather unfortunate, and a lot of people saying they want to declare this, want to declare that, and there seems to be some kind of diversity is not as virile as it used to be back in Nigeria. If we go by what we read in the media and what we also watch on television, Nigerian television, does that seemingly cleavages, has that affected Nigerians that are living in South Africa?
No. Nigerians in South Africa are living as one. There is harmony, there is collaboration, there is peaceful coexistence, amongst the various ethnic nationalities.
Okay. Yeah. So that's an interesting and very important point also, because from my also experience, I should say, Nigerians, when they are outside Nigeria, tend to want to agree and unite and then work together, because they have a common, the average South African or the average Zimbabwean does not see you from your ethnic point. He sees you as a Nigerian. So we have a common history, common issues. However, these issues that are affecting the Nigerian polity as at now is in the hearts of people. And when people travel with them, they travel with these disaffections, these hearts. And then they have these issues also. So what I'm saying in essence, is there Oduduwa Republic in South Africa? Is there IPOB in South Africa? Is there Edo in South Africa? Is there what? Are there these issues that are
we get to
symptomatic
hear,
of the problem?
We get to hear of activities of these people that you mentioned, and but that's where it ends. We just get to hear on the social media, of course, because I for one have not met any IPOB member. I've not seen anyone with a flag of Oduduwa Republic. Or which other one did you mention?
There are many. Arewa and all that.
Yeah, Arewa, of course.
Niger Delta.
Yeah, Niger Delta. So I don't see them. What I see are people, Nigerians that are...
You don't see them, or you do not recognize them?
I don't see them. I have not seen...
You have not...
I've not seen an IPOP agitator on the streets of Johannesburg.
But do they have meetings?
I do not know. But what I know is that, on the social media, you could hear, you could read.
So they have a presence on the social media?
Of course.
That is being promoted by people?
Being pushed by people.
By people that are living in South Africa?
Yes. Or probably people living overseas, because, social media is a junk.
Is
where people push all kind of informations, verified and unverified. So you wouldn't know, So sometimes you just,
I'd rather say,
just jump over certain.
I'd rather say social media is a platform. Is a platform with different.
Oh, sorry for using the language a junk.
Yeah. Because within the social media, you have the Facebook.
What I mean by a junk is that people now use it as a junk. Not that social media itself is a junk.
Okay, so different.
Please, I retrace that.
Okay.
Not that social media itself is a junk.
Yeah, because
but people tend to misuse it and turn it into a junk.
Because if you look at the recent news that just came, you discover that Twitter, for instance, has just made a major investment in Ghana. And that's a social media platform.
Yeah.
And you discover that Facebook also, Mark Zuckerberg visited Nigeria recently, and the youths, particularly in Nigeria and Africa, definitely are ICT savvy.
Yes.
And the social media is a platform in which they use in driving so many activities.
Yes.
So these are certainly very brilliant people that are doing there. However,
great minds.
However, there are people that are upset with some certain things, and then they try to bring their grievances on the social media, which is virtual, which is a global thing. It's a platform, it's a virtual platform.
Yes, yes.
And it depends on what you're dealing with. So, but is Nikasa? I'm going to let's sidestep the and you've retracted the statement, but let us, is Nikasa on social media?
Nikasa is on the social media. That is why it is important.
Which of the platforms?
On WhatsApp, we are on Twitter, we are on Facebook, and of course, we have also a website.
Okay, if you're on Facebook and all these social media platforms, how do you regulate how do you administer this platform? For instance, because what you did was that you created 3 layers of Nikasa structure: national, province, and municipality. Do they have separate social media platforms, independent social media platforms, or there's only one social media platform? And if, or is it province by province, or structure by structure, or there's just one? I can just go to Facebook and put Nikasa, and then there's only one Nikasa in the whole of South Africa.
The various provinces are allowed to have their social presence, their presence in the social platform. Like on the Facebook that you mentioned, the provinces have got their presence on it. The national has got its own presence on the Facebook. On the WhatsApp, it's easy, and that's where most information are collected. That's basically
communication among Nigerians. How do you control content?
We have admins, and admins make sure that the platforms are sanitized, and they make sure that the right things are put in there, and we ensure that there is a balance in information dissemination.
If, for instance, I go to the Facebook of Nikasa, the admin is not going to stop me from what I'm going to put out there.
Yes.
Okay, and so I can just go put, I'm promoting a certain agenda, I just go put it there. What are the consequences if you flout? First, what are the rules of engagement? And then what are the consequences?
There are rules of engagement to our activities, to our presence on the...
Particularly as it relates to social media.
Yes. So if you, by any chance, flout any of the laid down rules, you stand the risk of being removed. But of course, if it is something that is grievous, something that is, very demeaning, that will warrant prosecution.
Or something that is seditious.
Example.
It could even be against probably the security interest or unity of Nigeria.
We will actually hand you over to be prosecuted because Nikasa is a responsible organization, and we will not, administer a forum where nuisance could be bred and brought about the destruction of the peace.
So if the information that has been developed is actually against Nigeria, for instance, who do you hand him over that individual to for prosecution or for reprimand?
Of course, the South African government have enacted, there is a law governing the social media cyberspace crime. So it doesn't matter whose crime is against. who the crime,
as long as it's seen,
as long as it is
it contravenes
you
the
contravene,
cyber,
and it is in the Republic of South Africa. If you contravenes that law and it warrants prosecution, of course, we'll hand you over.
So, is there now public education by NICASA to engage Nigerians who may not necessarily be aware of these cyber laws, these cyber space laws? I mean, and imagine that even in Nigeria, so many Nigerians are not even aware, and all that across. So, is there some kind of deliberate public education and enlightenment program and some kind of an advocacy to educate Nigerians on their conduct, particularly on the social media platform, because it is seen globally?
We continuously advise. We continuously put up information to the fact that people should go through our regulations to know what they are not supposed to do on our platform. So, and periodically we also do workshops where we gather Nigerians and speak to them. Those are part of what we advocate, which is sensible use of the social media, so that you don't flout, any rule, any engagement, and then you will be innocent.
Okay, so if, well, presumably innocent, if like we talked about some certain uprisings, so to speak, by some certain people that are dissatisfied with some certain, maybe policy or whatever, when these people, if they congregate, for instance, in South Africa, for instance, what role does NICASA play? Can you alert the South African police that there are people that are congregating and discussing issues that are inimical, that is a threat to Nigerian sovereignty? Does NICASA carry out that kind of function?
Unfortunately, NICASA won't do that. Reason because there is what is called freedom of expression, freedom of engagement.
But you just talked about the social media, and then you said that there are some certain laws in South Africa that prohibit some certain kind of freedom of speech.
That is.
What about physically?
That is
and there are laws to also
that
prevent
is,
that?
That is the cyberspace law. And that is because that platform is being administered by NICASA.
But is there a physical law in South Africa to also disagree with some certain elements that may want
Of course, there are laws that governs the republic, and this law, from to the best of our knowledge, we've checked, and it allows certain expression. So if of course, people before they go on the streets in this country to do whatever they want to do, they get permission, and before they can get that permission, the government would have looked and seen that these people are allowed by the law to conduct themselves.
Okay, so you speak from what you're saying that there's a relationship between NICASA and South African authorities.
Yes, we do relate.
Okay, so what kind of relationship exists, and how does this relationship affect the welfare of Nigerians in South Africa?
We continuously want to, we continue to strive to better the relationship through engagement. We don't rest on our oars. We continue to push. We continue to, pursue peace, and to ensure that there is an engagement between the Nigerian community, which is NICASA, the Nigerian people, the stakeholders, and the South Africans. So that is peaceful advocacy, person-to-person diplomacy.
Are you getting support from these authorities in South Africa?
We do have tremendous support.
So
not only from them, but also from our government.
So as a Nigerian, what is the most challenging aspect of living in South Africa? What is the difficulty? What are the challenges?
I would say that the challenge that stands out, for Nigerians here in South Africa is the problem of documentation. Our people are passing through very difficult times in terms of their documents, their permits, and this has not helped their situation. So I will also use this opportunity to appeal to the South African government and to the relevant authorities that might be watching HTV to consider giving Nigerians special permits, as in the case of Lesotho?
When you say special, okay, Lesotho is a country within South Africa.
But it's a country.
Well, it's a country, but it's within South Africa.
Well, I'm not. I don't know about within South Africa, but I know that it's a country in the southern African region.
Lesotho is a
SADC.
country inside South Africa, and is surrounded 360 degrees by South Africa.
Are they independent?
They are independent. They are independent. They have a king. They have a government, a prime minister, but they are within. They don't. All their borders are basically South Africa, and then the people of South Africa are the Basotos. And then you also have a huge Basotho population in South Africa also. Basically, like in Free State and some part of Gauteng are the Soto-speaking people. Okay, you have the northern and the southern Soto, but Lesotho basically are the Basotos, and South Africans are also, they also have a huge population of the Soto. So there is a cultural, anthropological, and linguistic relationship.
Okay, I will tell you why I advocate.
But Nigeria is in West Africa.
I will tell you why I advocate
Africa.
for a special permit for Nigerians.
Okay.
Nigeria and South Africa has come a very long way. Our cultural and political, unity and understanding has grown over the years. And presently, there is this African Continental Free Trade Agreement. So we need to promote Africa. We need to encourage free movement in Africa. We need to believe that Africa can do great things. And Africa cannot do such things with restrictions on permits, especially as it affects Nigerians. Nigerians and South African has, they are interwoven now. We have great number of Nigerians that have committed and that are connected to South Africa through marriage, and it's a bond that had existed and continue to grow.
Okay.
So we need
that kind of
proper consideration, because of the trade, because of the cultural similarity and the cultural tie and bond, to encourage movement, to encourage peaceful movement between the two nations.
But that's okay. While we also consider that every country also has its own management of immigration protocol and all that, and I also recognize the fact that the new, which kicked in January 1st, 2021, but it's still we're still far from that, because we haven't gotten to the point of free movement of people across Africa. Okay. We are still at the level of trade level, that what is manufactured in South Africa shouldn't have customs and duties and all that as they circulate goods. So we're still getting there. We are probably we'll get there, because it's a continent of about over 1 billion people. So the market is huge if we come together. And also looking at people like Kwame Nkrumah, that has also been spoken about African unity. Bob Marley sang about it, and Julius Malema has been preaching also African unity. So we'll get there. But I was looking at it's interesting for also Nigerians to have a special permit, and then maybe the Ghanaians or maybe the Zimbabweans and all that. But that's at the level. So, but it's interesting also to know that, like you said, that Nigerians have a huge population in Nigeria, and Nigerians have integrated into the society, marriages and all that. What exactly are the activities of Nigerians? If you want to put it into sectors, which sector of life are Nigerians most prominent in the South African space?
Oh, okay, because I needed you to break it down. Okay, in the academia, we have great presence. Nigerians are playing a huge impact. In fact, I can tell you categorically that Nigerian academias, Nigerian professionals are the backbone of the institutions of South Africa. If that is put into proper perspective, and of course, we continue to collect information, to know exactly the number of Nigerians that are in various institutions of the Republic, but they are in the thousands, and they are contributing positively. They continue to fly high the flag of Nigeria. So we have great representation in that sector. And of course, it is our selling point. In the informal sector as well, the traders, we have great business people that invest in the Republic of South Africa. And
are there also Nigerian businesses in the formal sector?
There are Nigerian businesses. Of course, Dangote has a presence in South Africa. You may not know that.
Yeah, well, the cement company, for instance, in Mpumalanga.
It has a huge presence.
About 63%.
And of course, there are so many others that we may not have privileged information to know that they exist.
But like Nigerian banks and all that?
Of course, Nigerian banks have presence. I think, is it Access?
We
have a few banks.
We don't need to call the brands so that because they're not paying for free adverts.
Okay. Yeah, okay. But we do have some of the Nigerian banks that have a presence.
And since you called a certain name of a man that has investment, I'm sure we need to send him a check also for free adverts.
Well, he's one of our brands. That company that I mentioned is one of the brands that Nigeria has to promote
globally.
Yeah, we are proud of him.
16 African countries.
Yes, we are proudly Nigerians, and we are proud of whoever is making Nigeria proud.
So, are there other investors in the formal sector of South Africa, so to speak?
Yeah, like I was saying that.
Or are there barriers that are preventing Nigerians to invest in the formal sectors?
I think there is an extent of monopoly. There is a degree of monopoly. In business, within the South African business space.
When you say monopoly, is it in terms of, let me understand your monopoly, is it in terms of nationalization?
Not nationalization.
Because that will go against the spirit of the free African trade concept that you are promoting.
Yes. Where rules are too strict and not enabling to foreign players, like people, of countries like Nigeria, not finding it easy to play because of certain regulations. I may not be, privy to some of those regulations, but I could say that the reason, because we have great Nigerians that can invest in South Africa, but obviously we don't seem to see them. So what could mean? That could also mean because of conditions that are not appealing to them.
Yeah, because
invest.
There are big corporations, South African corporations that are in Nigeria,
and they are benefiting immensely.
And you can call
Nigeria.
that.
Yes.
So, but you talked about Nigerians in the informal sector, for instance.
Yes.
So, what level of informal sectors are they?
Traders who deal on, supermarkets and some of those stuffs. So we have Nigeria who play in those areas.
When you say supermarket, is it a formal setting like the malls and all that?
No, just shops, little shops, but who also contribute immensely in the economy.
Okay, so as we begin to wind down, these presence of Nigerians in these little businesses, is it a source of conflict between Nigerians and the locals and other Africans?
No, they are not. So? They are not a source of conflict because they are independently owned and managed, and it does not take away food or job from anyone. Instead, it creates job.
Okay.
And it drives revenue.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, as the President General, and that's a very strong name.
Well, because
you're not only the President, you're the President General.
The nomenclature is not what is important. What is important is that Nikasa is doing a great job.
Okay, but you still have the appellation President General, PG. Okay, as the President General of Nigeria, just speak to your people. I'm sure a lot of Nigerians in South Africa are watching you as we wind down.
Okay.
Speak to your people on how they can be good residents in South Africa, and how they can also do everything to encourage relationship within good South Africa.
Okay. Great Nigerians, this is Hon.Prince Ben Okoli speaking to you via HTV. I want to encourage you to be good ambassadors of Nigeria wherever you find yourselves in the Republic of South Africa. It doesn't matter what province you are a Nigerian. Please keep the flag of Nigeria flying, represent us well, do the right things, obey the rules of the law, and please get involved with your fellow Nigerians. Look after one another, and please make sure that you regularize your permits. Ensure that your permits are in order. Do not give rooms to miscreants to try to exploit you and collect your money, that they want to fix your documents, and that get the right people who are doing the right thing, please. And also, finally, let me just say this, please. We need you to get committed to NICASA. If NICASA is not very close to you, get involved with your local organization. Get involved with something that will keep you busy and out of crime. Thank you.
Okay, so talking about the permit, that means NICASA can facilitate. Can you support? Can you facilitate?
We do not facilitate, but we encourage you to ensure that you do the right thing, get the right people.
Can you introduce them to the right places and the right things?
We know that they're the right people. If you check them out, you will find them. And
that is the Home Affairs?
That is the Home Affairs. And they are accredited agents.
Okay.
There are accredited Home Affairs agents.
Okay,
yes.
So as you meet in your various meetings, it's important for you to be able to distribute these accredited agents of Home Affairs so that they will now know how to go. Well, viewers, that's a great meeting that we have just had. We've spoken with
Hon.Prince Ben Okoli.
Benjamin Okoli.
Thank you.
And we've had a very good, in the last 45 minutes to have this conversation. And we would certainly invite him back again so that we can discuss other issues as they unfold. I mean, as Nigerians continue to live in South Africa, there will be issues, and this will continue to grow. So we'll come your way very soon again. We have other guests that we are going to discuss with today, and one of them being Honorable Bartholomew Anagulu, who is the chairman of the KZN province, and he has an interesting perspective to give into his management of NICASA in KwaZulu-Natal. And then there's also two gentlemen from the University of KwaZulu-Natal that we'll also be having a conversation with. So, Prince, thank you.
Thank you.
And goodbye. See you soon.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
In this age and times comes great ideas, sweet memories,
New techniques.
untold stories about Africa and the world at large. Guess what? The new age brings on board a brand name in broadcasting technology.
Introducing
Age Television.
At Age Television, we serve you with professionalism
In news and event coverage,
live streaming, documentaries,
artist management,
video and photography.
social media management, and lots more.
For inquiries, call us on +27 061 773 9628.
Or 027 064 543 0136.
You can also send us WhatsApp messages on 078 229 4593.
YouTube HTV/Durban. Tweet us at HTV Durban.
Facebook at HTV Durban.
Instagram at HTV.Durban.
Email us at htvdurban@gmail.com.
Visit our website on www.htv.co.za. Age Television, celebrating the uncelebrated.
Ooh, I'm Benami.